You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this.
Everybody, welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Yay. We are so happy to have you here. Woo! So, this week is going to be kind of special because we're going to get to know our hosts a little bit.
Oh, yes.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. I have a question for Victoria and Rachel.
Okay.
In your lives, have you ever eaten or drank something that then caused you to throw up?
Yes.
Like if I wasn't sick with something else.
It could have been you were sick with something else, but have you ever eaten something and then
Sure. Yeah.
How immediately?
Fairly enough that you made the association between the food and drink and the food and the throwing up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with the fact that it happened probably within the same few hours or like whatever.
Okay. So
Yeah.
here's my question: do you remember what you ate or drink that caused that?
Grocery store sushi.
Ooh, grocery store sushi. That's a good one. Victoria, do you have one?
It's been a really long time since this happened to me personally, but I had to take care of a family member who was vomiting after eating something and dealing with the results and the smell.
Yeah.
Having eaten the same thing as them kind of had the same effect. And I do remember exactly what it was.
That's perfect. Here's the follow-up question is, if I were to offer you that item, if I offer that item, food item or drink item to you right now, would you still eat or drink it, or have you like developed an aversion to that food?
Nah, I'd eat it. I've eaten grocery store sushi since
Okay, you went back on that? Okay.
You know, I
did.
think it's been long enough for me, if it's been like 10 years since this incident.
Okay, so there's a time.
Mm-hmm.
But for a while, I was definitely turned off.
Yeah,
so is there anything
there was a time period maybe that involved tequila that was not a good idea.
That's a big one.
That's
I thought that one might come up.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
There was a New Year's in my youth that I'm just like, I'm good. And I really don't partake in tequila anymore. So
no, I think Rachel, there's probably a lot of listeners right now who are thinking tequila or tequila, as some people would say. Yeah, that's a pretty common one. Yeah. There are many of us out there with stories about one too many drinks or shots of tequila. And for some people, once they cross that line, even like the thought of that drink is enough to just turn their stomachs. There's like, I can't do it anymore. Maybe with enough time has passed, but it's like, oof, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good now. Mostly.
Yeah. This is basically called food aversion. And I'm curious, can either of you think of a biological or evolutionary reason to develop an aversion to a food or a drink?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Enlighten us. What would that be?
Well, if something makes you vomit, it might be poisonous. And
there you go.
You don't want to eat poisonous things. So that's your body's way of keeping you from eating poisonous things.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And like vomiting itself dehydrates you and actually like is, well, surprisingly, hint, it's not surprising at all. Not good for you generally.
No,
like,
it's awful.
You're losing nutrients.
It's a bad experience.
You're losing like water. It's detrimental to your health overall. Like
bad for your teeth.
It's bad for your teeth. Like
you both summed it up really nicely. If something made you sick, don't eat it. That's kind of what it boils down to, right? Entire defense mechanisms for both plants and animals are actually based on this fundamental idea. There are plants that taste bad expressly to discourage animals from eating them. They, create certain chemicals and things in their leaves that make them distasteful. There's also animals that can make you, or that can make themselves taste bad, which I think is really fascinating.
Like
toads. Yeah, toads are the main one that comes to mind. There's many species of toads around the world that will excrete a liquid from glands that they can then kind of run all over their bodies, and it makes them taste very nasty. And can actually go further than that. Some of the toads can be downright toxic. The idea is that if an animal tries to put it in their mouth, the taste could actually induce vomiting because it's so bad. And once an animal has vomited from a food, we generally all have a pretty strong aversion to that food afterwards, at least, as you were saying, for a good period of time. You're not just going to go, maybe I'll try another one.
It was fine.
One of my coworkers is a notable exception. He's probably listening to the show. He knows who the guilty party is.
I mean, I am also a guilty party on that one. Like, it's
it made me sick,
fine.
but maybe I'll try it one more time just to be sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I think I know what that mushroom is.
Yeah, well, that's a really bad one.
Mushrooms, I won't do that.
No, me either.
Mushroom's a bit more dangerous one. You may only get one shot at that. Not being able to eat that food afterwards has nothing to do with willpower. It's actually a very deeply seated evolutionary trait that has kept our ancestors and the ancestors of all other animals alive, possibly as long as there have been animals. Right?
Okay.
This probably goes back a long, long way on the evolutionary tree, because it's something that all animals or all mammals seem to share, this common trait. And so we don't really know when the trait arose, but it was probably a very long time ago, considering how useful it is not to eat things that make you sick.
Right.
And research has shown that all mammals that we have tested, which of course isn't all animals or even all mammals, but all the mammals we've tested have shown this ability to have what they call taste aversion. So don't feel bad if you can't have tequila after throwing up. You're just a mammal like the rest of us.
I can think of a mammal that doesn't seem to display this behavior, though.
Ooh, well, maybe it's the one that I'm going to talk about.
Domesticated dogs.
Oh, well, no, we're not talking about...
That's fair.
Yeah,
God.
they will...
You think they won't eat grass?
Yeah, well...
Why?
Okay, there's a side thing that I think there's some research suggesting that dogs sometimes eat grass purposely to throw up. Like if they have eaten something that makes their stomach upset, they will eat grass to make themselves throw up, to purposely get that out of their system.
A purge. Okay.
Kind of a purge, yeah. So that's kind of one theory behind that. So dogs still have that ability, though. If they ate something that was truly bad, like it made them throw up, they're probably gonna be like, no, that was nasty. I don't want that. Although dogs, as we know, eat some nasty stuff. But this brings up an interesting question. What if you didn't have the ability at all? What if you did not have any kind of food aversion ability built in? Would it matter? Like, it seems like this would be a bad thing, right? To not have this?
Yeah.
A dangerous thing, perhaps, for a species?
Yeah, I suppose.
It turns out there could be a time when it simply doesn't matter if you have it or not. And there could be a case where you would have no use for food aversion, and that would be if you only ever eat one type of food for your entire life.
I guess so, yeah.
You know that one food is safe, so you wouldn't really need the food aversion. So if your diet consists of exactly one food choice, would it matter if other foods make you sick if you never eat them? Would you need this ability if there was no chance to ever use it? Well, this question intrigued researchers John Ratcliffe, M. Brock Fenton, and Bennett Guelph, who all studied animal behavior at McMaster University in Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada back in 2003. Shout out to our friends in Canada. Woo woo! Woo! Canada's getting a lot of attention in the last couple episodes here. Well, we're once again putting the Great White North into the spotlight this week, I guess. I mean, kind of. These researchers were from this university, but they were studying species that were clearly not found there. They were particularly interested in one particular species of mammal that had never been studied for food aversion, and that species was Desmodus rotundus. Does that name ring a bell?
No, but it sounds like it's chubby.
It sounds round, yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, rotundus.
Is that a mouse?
I guess some people might consider it kind of like a mouse, Rachel. but it can fly.
Oh, a bat?
Is it a
A
bat?
bat. And this would
Okay.
perhaps have been a good topic for the Halloween show because that is the scientific name of the common vampire bat.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is a really interesting species to study for this question because they
Yeah.
are mammals that really only drink or eat one food.
Yeah.
They drink
Yeah.
blood. That's it. That's their food source.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if any other foods might make them throw up. They're never going to eat any other foods and find out. So we really don't know.
Yeah.
And I guess the bats don't know like how they would react either, right? Because they never tried
Sure.
anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So will they still have food aversion is the question, even if they would never use it. And the even bigger question is how would we test that? Right?
Yeah.
Very weird. So
yeah.
as usual, I love the creative ways scientists set out to test this kind of thing. First off, they tested a few species of bats to make sure they could compare the results and have a valid test methodology. They fed fruit that was spiced up with either cinnamon or citric acid to 3 close relatives of vampire bats who eat fruit. They didn't actually make the fruit like poisonous or anything, but they put these flavors on the food that was a new taste and distinct, something the bats had never tasted before.
Okay.
Then, shortly after feeding the new food to the bats, they did something a bit unkind. They gave them an injection of lithium chloride, which
Oh.
did not
Yep.
hurt the bats, but it did make them throw up. And so the bats now had an association between this new food and throwing up.
Yeah.
And when the
Yep.
bats were offered the food in the future, they steered clear of it, showing that the bats absolutely can have food aversion, just like all other mammals.
Huh.
But what about the vampire bats?
Yeah.
Well, they gave blood
Okay.
to the vampire bats, and some of it was tainted with these new tastes. Let's the same, like cinnamon or what was the other one? Citric acid. And these are things that the bats would never have tasted. You don't usually get cinnamon blood.
No, that would be a new one.
They gave these new tastes to the vampire bats, and they just drank it right up. And then they got the shot that made them throw up. And what is fascinating is that the vampire bats never learned their lesson. They would freely go
Interesting.
back to the blood that they drank just before feeling sick. And they clearly never made the connection between eating this particular food and then throwing up. Even though every time they would eat that food, they would throw up. And every time they would eat the other food that was the normal one that tasted normal, they wouldn't throw up. They just never thought to make the connection.
Can they taste it?
Well, that's a really good question. Can they taste it? I don't know if that's part of this.
I mean, presumably vampire bats have a good sense of smell to find their prey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the assumption is that they
Yeah.
could taste it. It's just they weren't making any.
Yeah.
It didn't make any association for them.
Yeah.
And so vampire bats are now the only known mammal species that simply does not have food aversion. They're the only ones we know of.
That's
There's
fascinating.
two competing theories for why this could be. Well, one theory is that they had to lose this ability in order to be able to drink blood in the first place. Most
Okay.
mammals that ingest blood will throw up. And so most mammals that try to drink it will develop a food aversion to it. So losing the food aversion is actually what allows the vampire bats to exploit a food source that other mammals can't. That's one theory.
Maybe.
There is another theory though. Keep in mind, vampire bats didn't just lose their aversion to blood. They don't seem capable of having any sort of food aversion of any kind. So the theory is, in this case, would be that they don't actually have any food aversions because it's a useless trait to an animal that only ever eats one food. And there is a biological cost to maintaining the mental ability to do something that you will never need to do. So the space in the brain normally devoted to this skill has essentially been reallocated to more useful functions. We don't know which one of those two or a combination of those two things could be what is at play here, but those were the sort of the two possible ideas that have been put forward for why this would be. So that's just a really cool thing. It's what I have for this week. The strange story that vampire bats simply are incapable of learning which foods will make them sick.
Wow.
The journal article
Funny.
Was written up. This was published in 2003 in the journal Animal Behavior, and the article was called "An Exception to the Rule: Common Vampire Bats Do Not Learn Taste Aversions." This is an open access journal, so you can read all the bloody details for free if you so choose.
Yeah. And if you want to learn more about vampire bats, we talked about it way, way back in episode 35.
35. That seems
35.
so long ago.
Long
That's
time ago
amazing.
now.
It was our first
Indeed.
October.
Oh, there you go for the first Halloween episode. Excellent. Well, look, we're going to take a short little break, and when we come back, Rachel will have more strange things for us.
Yeah. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm going to talk about a bug this week.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. And it's a type of bug that it's found in a wide range of places in the Pacific Ocean area, like several Pacific islands and New Guinea.
Oh, okay.
But also Australia. So there's that.
Okay.
So there it is. So this particular insect, we'll get into it. So this particular insect is called the hibiscus harlequin bug, also known as the cotton harlequin bug. Oh, he's got his thing down.
I have my Latin tally ready. Go ahead.
All right. The Latin name of this insect is Tectocorus diphthomallus.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that was pretty creditable.
Diophthalmus.
Oh.
See,
Diophthalmus.
now you're going back. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know, Rachel. I don't know if we can count it. If you had just see, like, here's the thing, Rachel. Nobody has any clue how these words are pronounced. If you'd just been confident and gone for it, no one would have known.
I know. There's a PH and then a TH right afterward.
Ooh.
Tectocorus diophthalmus.
There we go. Diophthalmus? Phalmus. Yeah.
Phalmus, yeah.
Sure.
Well, you made it 2 episodes, Rachel.
Made it 2. We're gonna keep going. As long as the average is higher than, my failure.
2 for 3. Okay, keep going.
2 for 3. We're doing 66%. All right.
Okay.
So Tectocorus is the harlequin bug is just it's the only animal in this particular genus, okay? It's brightly colored. It's kind of also known as a stink bug.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's brightly colored. They grow to be, it's like a shield-shaped bug. So you think of like a stink bug. It has its abdomen and thorax look kind of fused. And has this big round like shield on its back with an X, has a head, 6 legs, antenna, all of that. Okay. Now,
got it.
Super brightly colored, metallic-y kind of sheen. Adults are generally mostly females are more orange. Males are like blue with an orange or red. The nymphs are generally a metallic green or a purple.
Nice.
Sounds pretty.
Sounds very pretty.
Very pretty, and it's very variable. And that variation is maybe because it helps with bird predation.
Yeah. I mean,
it's possible.
Yeah.
Now, it grows to about 20 millimeters, so they're not very large. And as their name kind of suggests, they tend to be a pest. They feed pretty heavily on hibiscus trees and the flowers. They also feed on the stems of cotton, which, as you can imagine, people don't super love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because they are a sapsucker of sorts. They are going to pierce the stem of the plant and try and just eat the juices that are found in there. especially they prefer like young shoots over any other type.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I talked a little bit about the variation. They, in their appearance, and they have a nymph stage, so that means that they'd go through incomplete metamorphosis. They were first described in 1781. Okay? By Western Science, I should say. And given their binomial name in 1783. Here's the thing. They have been, how many times?
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
So this particular species, because of how highly variable the nymphs look from the adults.
How many times, Rachel?
Been described by science. No, at least under different names, mind you. Different names.
Yeah.
At least 16 different times.
Oops.
Well.
Oops.
Yeah, oops.
That's not great.
From 1781 all the way through, the most recent one was 1985.
Oh,
not great, guys.
On.
Not great.
Was the last like known time that they were described and found, wait, no, this is this Harlequin bug that we've already described and known about for a couple hundred years.
But to be fair, if it is highly variable,
it's super highly variable.
A specimen like of one, maybe even a dead specimen, like not like you're raising them from hand and seeing, how they change. Like that's really tough.
They vary wildly. Like the males are mostly blue and red and orange, but they can have different patterns on them. Honestly, you can have like a big pile of these bugs and they will look wildly different. They look like an assortment of bugs and they're all the same species. It's absolutely wild. Generally, they're not really that weird overall. The females lay clusters of eggs around the stems and they guard them actually. So they like have this like little, it looks like a little ring or a bracelet around the plant. And then the females will actually like, the females will stay and protect and guard the eggs just so that way like they're sure that they go on and
like, so this ring, is it a ring of the insects? Like
it's a ring it's a ring of eggs around.
Oh, ring of eggs. Okay.
Yeah, it's a ring of eggs around the stem that the female then stays and protects.
Gotcha.
On the stem of mostly the hibiscus plant, but they've been known to do it on other ones where they can. Generally,
I have two hibiscus trees growing in my house, and insects like to attack them, but I haven't seen these.
Good. That would be bad for us in multiple ways. So a lot of like the places, when I was doing research, a lot of them dealt with like, how do you get rid of these weird bugs, or how do you get rid of these bugs? And they're considered pests pretty widely, which makes sense. Generally speaking, they're found primarily on eastern Australia. They're pretty like common in like flower bugs and or flower beds and such. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this little bug that has been described by science at least 16 different times because of how widely variable it is. You would think that it would actually become an issue for like the insect if they're so widely available, but I guess they're widely variable. You think it would be an issue for them, but apparently it's not, and they can still find each other, no problem.
Interesting.
Yeah. So science has described them at least 16 times. Absolutely. So silly. So as careful as we all are, sometimes science gets things wrong sometimes. My sources this week were Wikipedia, Australian Plant Society, an attractive pest or maybe not, was the article, as well as the Australian Museum, Insects ID, and Science Direct had a really cool article, Scared by Shiny, the Value of Iridescence in Aposomatic Signaling of the Hibiscus Harlequin Beetle. So pretty much they were testing to see if the coloration meant anything for predation.
Cool. Are you going to have photos of all 16 different species in our newsletter?
I'm going to have a big old pile of these bugs in the newsletters that all
Awesome.
is the same bug. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
All
Looking
right.
forward to it.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, it'll be Victoria.
This week's episode is brought to you by the Society of Strange. That's what we call our patrons over at patreon.com/strangebynature. Society members directly support the show they love, and depending on their level of support, get fun perks such as bonus content on select shows, insider photos, water bottle stickers, and here's a big one, every level of support gets every episode 100% ad-free. Come join the other lovers of the show, help keep this strange show going, and get those ad-free episodes. We'll see you all over at patreon.com/strangebynature.
We're back. Kirk, Rachel, you remember the game that kids play all the time in elementary school, blue lizard, orange lizard, yellow lizard, right?
No.
No?
I'm going to be real honest with
No.
you here, Victoria. No, that was not
That's
part of
a
my
new one.
childhood.
Okay, well, let me describe the game to you, and you tell me if it sounds familiar, okay?
Okay.
It's gonna, I already guarantee it's going to sound familiar, but
It's going to be like rock, paper, scissors or something.
Oh, God.
Well,
Let's
you
see.
can use it to choose stuff, like who goes first for things. So each color of lizard has a hand gesture associated with it, and the
Okay.
two players shout blue, orange, yellow, shoot, and then each one makes
Okay.
one of the three hand gestures. Blue beats yellow, yellow beats orange, and orange beats blue.
Okay.
Does this sound
Sounds like rock,
familiar to
paper,
you?
scissors. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds like
No.
rock, paper, scissors.
Or
It is, of course.
Gen
rock, paper, scissors.
Kempo, or there's variations around the world. Yeah.
Egg,
Yeah.
chicken, T-Rex.
Of course, this game is not actually called Blue Lizard, Orange Lizard, Yellow Lizard, although it is played all over the world and called by different names, including some variations with different creatures or hand symbols. In Indonesia, it's called suwitan, and the three objects are ant, person, and elephant.
Okay.
And of course, there's the 5-object version of the game popularized by the TV show The Big Bang Theory, which actually does involve a lizard. It's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Correct.
But today I am talking about actual lizards that use a rock, paper, scissors type of mating strategy.
What?
Yes.
Okay, this is
Sounds
cool.
so fun.
Yes, when I saw this,
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
oh, this is great. Have to do this for the show.
Yeah,
I'm
please go on. We're
intrigued.
dying to know.
Yeah, they all get together and they hold out their little lizard hands. No, that's not how it works.
I'm fully
Now I'm
ready
disappointed.
to believe this.
Okay, so the lizard we are talking about is the common side-blotched lizard, which is Uta stansburiana.
Amazing. Excellent job.
It's found in the western United States and Mexico in dry areas. These lizards they're pretty standard-looking lizards in terms of their body plan. If you think about a small lizard, it looks like that. And they're about 6 centimeters long, not including the tail. During the breeding season, though, males will develop one of 3 colors on the scales of their throat. Blue,
Okay.
blue, orange, and yellow.
Right.
Okay. Ooh.
And these colors correspond with 3 different mating strategies. So,
Interesting.
yes. Orange lizards act very aggressively towards other males, blue males particularly. They fight with blue males, and when they win the fight, they gain control of the females that the blue males have been guarding. And these orange lizards will defend quite a large territory with up to 6 females in it. Okay?
Oh, wow.
So it sounds like you'd want to be an orange male, except
blue lizards, on the other hand, are not very aggressive. They defend a small territory with 1 or 2 females, but they team up with other blue males to defend against the orange ones.
Okay.
oh, a group
So it's like a
protection racket. Yeah.
3v1 kind of situation. Okay.
The yellow lizards are sneaky. They're not aggressive, they're sneaky, and they don't defend a territory at all. Instead, they will sneak onto other males' territories and mate with their females secretly behind their backs.
Yeah, this reminds me so much of the story I did about the birds that have a very similar strategy. Yeah.
Yep.
And okay, so here's where the game comes in. Since blue males have a smaller territory to defend, they are usually able to detect and chase away the yellow males before they mate with their females.
Sure.
The orange males have a big territory that's harder to patrol.
Okay.
So the yellow males can sneak
in
onto
easier.
the orange male territory and mate with those females. So orange beats blue because they're more aggressive. Blue beats yellow because they can keep them out of their territory.
Yeah.
And yellow beats orange.
Awesome. Rock, paper, scissors. There
Rock,
it is.
paper, scissors.
There it is.
So the population will go through cycles over a year or two where each color kind of increases in frequency for a year or so, and then the next one will increase, and it'll just cycle through those.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is it a genetic component that decides like what color they're going to be, or?
Well, great question, Rachel. Good segue. Good segue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the resemblance of this mating system to the game of rock, paper, scissors was actually noticed a few decades ago. There was a paper published with a mathematical model of it in 1996. And in this paper, they had to make an assumption, and they assumed that each color was genetically controlled by, I think, a separate gene. At that time, there were no tools to show if this was the case or not.
Right, because at that point in time, DNA and such was pretty new.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we have the tools.
I love that you just said DNA was new, by the way. That's good.
We know what you
We all know what you meant. You know what you meant. I just love it.
Being able to detect and decipher DNA at that point
I
in time
know.
was
It just
new.
sounded funny.
Ugh. Or hey, at the turn of the century, we were still learning about germs being a thing. Okay.
Which century?
Turn of the 19th.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought you were saying like the year 2000. I was
No. The
think we knew about
1900s.
This paper was published in 1996, though, not 1896.
Well, yeah, but like comparison to the beginning of the century,
We've gone
didn't
so
know about
far
germs.
Oh my
askew. I
And then,
apologize
towards
for
the
bringing
end,
it
we
up.
know about DNA. Like it's a thing. Look at the
I
wide
see.
variety.
I see
Keep
where
going,
Rachel's
Victoria.
brain went. She didn't connect all the dots for the rest of us, but I see where her brain went initially.
Yeah, it's fine. Keep going, Victoria.
Anyway, we do have the tools now. And someone cared enough to first sequence the entire genome of this lizard, because you have to have the whole genome sequence to be able to tell where the differences are.
Yeah.
And then you're not, apparently, if you try to get these lizards into the lab, the colors don't develop for some reason. So you have to go out into the wild and sample blood from each of these 3 color variations.
That right there feels like a big clue.
That's interesting.
Well, it turns out the difference between the orange and the blue lizards is in a single gene. Orange is recessive. It's a recessive trait.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So 2 copies of the recessive orange gene are needed for an orange male to develop. If the male has even 1 copy of the dominant blue gene, it's blue. Okay. And it seems that this gene, what it does is it both produces pigments in the skin and neurotransmitters in the brain. So this single gene can plausibly control both color and behavior.
Wow.
Right. I noticed that you didn't say anything about the yellow.
I did not say anything about the yellow.
Correct.
Well, you asked whether it was a genetic or an environmental
Yeah.
phenomenon,
answer
and
yes?
it turns out it is both. The yellow lizards are blue lizards genetically.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so the dominant gene.
The dominant gene, yes. However, which makes sense because you would expect twice as many
Sure.
blue lizards.
Right.
And however, the researchers hypothesize that there's some kind of environmental cue that makes the blue and yellow males wind up different colors. Perhaps the mere fact of gaining a territory makes the blue lizards become blue.
Interesting.
So yellow lizards could potentially become blue at another time in their life.
Yes.
Like a hormonal thing, perhaps. Or...
I don't know if any research has been done on individual lizards to see if they change color over time. Seasons.
Ooh, that would be really fascinating.
That would be very cool.
That would be fascinating. So the current hypothesis is that probably the blue and yellow variants may have been the original, and that the aggressive orange recessive gene, may have been a mutation that developed. And these new orange males could beat the blue ones, but the yellow ones could still sneak behind their back. So this stable triple system of rock, paper, scissors developed.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I read this. I happened to come across this article today as I was writing this episode, or looking for a topic to write about. So this was published. An article was published in the New York Times about this by the great Carl Zimmer. And the scientific paper that it's based on came out on January 1st of 2026. It's called The Genetics, Evolution, and Maintenance of a Biological Rock, Paper, Scissors Game in Science.
Amazing.
Love it.
What, like not only maybe groundbreaking, groundbreaking, but also like recent. This just happened.
Yes.
This was just fresh off the press.
Love it.
That is
amazing.
What I have this week, and that is what we have for our show this week.
Great.
Thank you so much, Victoria.
You are
straight from our mouths to your ear holes.
Ew.
Wow, I hate that.
I don't know why I said that. That's horrible.
That was very bad, Kirk.
It's factual, like much of this show. Hopefully all of this show.
Hopefully all of the show.
We try our hardest.
We try.
That is for sure. Thanks everyone for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
We
See y'all
got more madness like this for the rest of the year. Stick around.
Ta-ta.
See you soon. Bye. Thanks everyone for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/strangebynature. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.